Hello, everyone, and welcome to Littlefield Live Streaming. Tonight, we have Pop Culture Trivia, Friends Edition. Now, please welcome your host, Rob.
A few clicks of the keyboard. We are live. It's Pop Culture Trivia. It's Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Where else would you be except right here with us, Littlefield, NYC? It's Pop Culture Trivia. Isn't it your favorite? Isn't it the best tonight? Tonight, here we go. Tonight, you can play along right at home from where you are, from where I am, the undisclosed location, somewhere deep in Brooklyn. Pop Culture Trivia, the Friends Edition. We are, of course, getting started. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I do see a few folks in the chat, in the Zoom chat, in the YouTube chat. Come on by, say hello. Let us know where you're watching and listening from, where you're playing from. We've got the link to play along is in the chat. Of course, our little preamble before we get started. Some extremely exciting news in New York City this week. This is the last week of phase 1. Phase 2 of the reopening of New York starts next Monday. And along with that, well, we've got some exciting news, but I'll save it for just a few minutes. But what you've got time to do right now, you've got time to go grab yourself a drink. I am drinking the wonderful Stonewall Inn IPA tonight. Not a product placement at all, but I'm just enjoying it. There we are. You've got time to grab yourself a drink. Maybe you're just finishing up making a sandwich or for dinner or whatever it is that you're preparing for dinner. You've got time to go grab that from the kitchen. Come back, sit down, relax. We're going to get started in just a few, but our usual start to this, hashtag save our stages. Tickets and donations for tonight's trivia are benefiting the staff of Littlefield and Parklife and charity. At Parklife, we have launched curbside pickup. You can enjoy, and we've had for a while, you can enjoy tacos and margarita pitchers while you're watching a Littlefield live stream. All you got to do is hit up Littlefield or Parklife rather, Littlefield and Parklife together. Hit up an order. I want to thank you for supporting the hospitality industry. It is more important than ever that when we are all socially distanced, that venues like Littlefield, like Parklife can receive your support. If you're brand new and you're just here, you don't no idea what I'm talking about with this Littlefield and Parklife stuff. Littlefield is the venue that's on Sackett Street, and Parklife is food, bar, outdoors on DeGraw Street in Gowanus in Brooklyn. Thank you for supporting the hospitality industry. If you have given tonight, thank you so much. It is deeply appreciated from everyone at Littlefield and Parklife. If you have the opportunity and want to give more, there is a GoFundMe campaign that you can donate to. And there's also live show gift cards at Littlefield and food and drink gift cards at Parklife. Littlefield is a proud member of the National Independent Venue Association, and we would like to ask you to support your local venues wherever you are, like Littlefield and Parklife. Speaking of some of the food, I've used this photo a lot because I like it a lot. But we've got the margaritas, and we've got the chips and some shredded meat, guacamole, queso. It's all there for you. All you got to do, you could have been enjoying, this could have been you, but you're playing tonight. But you're playing trivia tonight, and you're here, and we appreciate that. Let's get into the rules a little bit. The rules. I can't see you from here to there. I can't see you. Don't cheat. Of course, we are playing for glory. We are playing for me to say your team names, but we're also playing, the winning teams tonight will be getting tickets to a future event at Littlefield. Of course, it's unknown as to when that will be in the future, but you will get it. I want to say hello to Francesca from Connecticut. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Your enjoyment tonight is encouraged. Say hello in the chat, as Francesca just did. Say hi, where you're from, and where you're watching, and your name, if you'd like. The best score will, of course, win tonight. We've got 5 mini rounds, 3 questions each, and the best team names will also win prizes. And then, of course, I want to say hello to, here we go, Jackie from Saddle River, New Jersey, Sue from Saddle River, New Jersey. Maybe you're watching together. Maybe it's just coincidence that Jackie and Sue have chimed in at the same moment. And Annika, also hello in the chat. I want to thank everyone for joining us. And I also want to thank the Littlefield staff and Stephen Wiz from Queens. Welcome to the show and welcome to the game. Speaking of the game, how do you play? Bam. Here's how we play. There's a few different ways, and I'll explain. One way is that if you have, hello to Jared from inside of all of our hearts, just keep it pumping, buddy. If you have a second device from what you're watching right now on, or if you can, maybe you got a second window or something like that, you can head over to bit.ly/PCT008. Keep in mind, all uppercase on PCT. Steve Zaretsky is going to win tonight, according to Jackie. Here we go. Head over to there. It's multiple. All of the questions tonight are multiple choice, except for naming your team and your email address. If you want to give it to us, and that's only if you want to win the potential prizes. I do also, if you don't have a second device, that's cool too. If you're on your phone and you've only got your phone, here's what you could do. You could jot down A, B, C, D on, those are not in order, the answers, but those are your options for each of the 15 questions. And then I guarantee you, I will give you enough time to then open up a browser, head to this URL, and then get all your answers in. While all that's happening, I'll be delighting everyone with another reading, as we did last week, from the Mega Man 2 novelization, of course, the second of the Nintendo Entertainment System games. Those are our rules. It is 7:09. We are right on pace to start at 7:10. It is Friends Trivia tonight. Friends, of course, on that new amorphous HBO Max that everyone is curious if they already have or not because they have HBO and they're unsure. So we're going to jump in. It is round one, the 3 about the first episode. 3 questions, of course, in each mini round. Let's get started. It is question number 1. Question number 1. When Friends was debuted in 1993, the producers of the show didn't want a jingle for the theme song. They wanted a real song. Before settling on the show's actual theme song, they approached an alternative rock band about using what song whose melody was ripped off by the eventual song. Was it No Rain by Blind Melon? Was it It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine? Is it Friday, I'm in Love? Or is it Ain't Over Till It's Over? Oh, that's supposed to be an R over there. It Ain't Over Till It's Over. That's No Rain by Blind Melon. It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine by REM. Friday, I'm in Love, The Cure, and It Ain't Over Till It's Over by Lenny Kravitz. What was supposed to be the original theme song to Friends that was ripped off for the actual theme song? It's question number 1. Just getting started, getting warmed up tonight. Some of these questions you're really going to be able to flex that Friends muscle that I know you're dying to give a shot at. So once again, question number 1. When Friends was created in 1993, the producers of the show didn't want a jingle for the theme song. They wanted a real song. Before settling on the song's actual theme, they approached an alternative rock band about using what song whose melody was ripped off by the eventual song. Was it No Rain? Was it It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine? Is it Friday, I'm in Love? Or is it It Ain't Over Till It's Over? A little R there. What was the answer? Do you know? The original theme song, or the actual theme song, made the guys that wrote that song more money than they knew what to do with, and ultimately ruined the band and destroyed it. What are you going to do when you're just making money hand over fist? You're just going to make money hand over fist. But yeah, it pretty much ruined that band and destroyed them. Anyway, moving on to question number 2. Question number 2. What character on the show did all of the following actresses audition for? The actresses Jane Krakowski, Elizabeth Berkley, Courtney Cox, and Téa Leoni. Was that character on the show Rachel? Was it Monica? Was it Phoebe? Or was it Sardonica? Who fits? The question winds up being, who do you think fits for the combination of Jane Krakowski, Elizabeth Berkley, Courtney Cox, and Téa Leoni? Once more, question number 2. What character on the show did the following actresses all audition for? Jane Krakowski, Elizabeth Berkley, Courtney Cox, and Téa Leoni. Which one? Was it Rachel? Was it Monica? Was it Phoebe? Or was it Sardonica? Not intentionally did I make those answers rhyme, but it happened. Wonderful. Love that beer. Here we go. Question number 3. Question number 3. Lisa Kudrow debuted the character of Phoebe Buffay on the first episode of Friends, but it wasn't her first time she portrayed a member of the Buffay family. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly right now. She played Phoebe's twin sister, Ursula, on this NBC sitcom, which was recently revived on Spectrum's on-demand platform. What show was it? Was it A, Suddenly Susan? Was it B, Caroline in the City? Was it C, Will and Grace? Or was it D, Mad About You? It was interesting to me to remember that Phoebe wasn't the first character that she had portrayed. A twin sister on a different NBC sitcom. Lots of crossover appeal, but crossover potential, but never really pulled the trigger on it. Question number 3, one more time. Lisa Kudrow debuted the character of Phoebe in the first episode of Friends, but it wasn't her first time portraying a member of that family. She portrayed Phoebe's twin sister Ursula on this NBC sitcom, which was recently revived on Spectrum's on-demand platform. What show was it? Was it A, Suddenly Susan? Was it B, Caroline in the City? Was it C, Will and Grace? Or was it D, Mad About You? Buffet? 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 They never really say her last name a lot. Anyway, that was question number 3. Moving on. Tonight, Pop Culture Trivia is co-presented by the Skint. The Skint, free and cheap New York every day. Of course, when we are able to be outside, we can tune in and we can look at the Skint for the day to see what's going on around the city that is both free and cheap. While we can't go outside or are told that we shouldn't, we can also read the Skint to find out what's going on that's free and cheap, interesting, beamed right into our homes or our devices, wherever we'd like, and also updates about protests throughout the city. So, theskint.com, you can subscribe there, and also at the end of the questionnaire, if you want, or the answer keys tonight, you can just check a checkbox, and we will get you signed up for the Skint if you want. That was the end of round 1. Let's talk about round 2. Round 2, the 3 about guests. 3 questions, of course. Question number 4. Question number 4. This future Avenger, who doesn't ever seem to age, shows up as a blind date and ends up in 18 episodes of the show and a husband. Is it A, Robert Downey Jr.? Is it B, Paul Rudd? Is it C, Mark Ruffalo? Or is it D, Jon Favreau? What future Avenger becomes a husband on Friends? Question number 4, one more time. This future Avenger, who doesn't ever seem to age, shows up as a blind date, and ends up in 18 episodes of the show, eventually a husband. What Avenger was it? Was it A, Robert Downey Jr.? Was it B, Paul Rudd? Was it C, Mark Ruffalo? Or D, Jon Favreau? A future Avenger. A show like Friends that was on for as long as it did certainly had a lot of guests, which is, of course, how we're facilitating this entire round of questions. That was question number 4. Moving on to question number 5. Question number 5. When George Clooney and Noah Wyle guest starred on an episode of the first season of Friends, it was a near crossover with what NBC drama that aired at 10 p.m. on the same night as Friends? Was it A, Law and Order, B, Sisters, C, The Facts of Life, or D, ER? What NBC show had a near crossover with Friends, but George Clooney and Noah Wyle's characters had different names? They had such potential and they just wasted it. Question number 5, one more time. When George Clooney and Noah Wyle guest starred on an episode of the first season of Friends, it was a near crossover with what NBC drama that aired at 10 p.m. on the same night as Friends? Was it A, Law and Order, B, Sisters, C, The Facts of Life, or D, ER? As someone just called my phone and I had to decline the call. Here we go. That was question number 5. Question number 6. Bam. What Duchess made a guest appearance on the show as herself? Was it A, Sarah Ferguson? Was it B, that was apparently hard to pronounce. Was it B, Fergie Duhamel? Was it C, Meghan Markle? Or D, Diana Frances Spencer? What Duchess? If I say any more, I would give it away. Question number 6, one more time. What Duchess made a guest appearance on the show as herself? Was it A, Sarah Ferguson? B, Fergie Duhamel? Duhamel? Was it C, Meghan Markle? Or D, Diana Frances Spencer? Which Duchess made an appearance on Friends? One of the later seasons, if I recall. That was question number 6. Tonight is also co-presented by The Briefly, thebriefly.com right here. Nice art for today. I took that photo myself. The Briefly is, it's all news to you. It's a daily email from me giving you hyperlocal news for New York City, somewhere around 20 to 30 links, and basically catch you up on the day. The tagline is get up to speed before you get to work. It's a little hard to get up to speed before you get to work based on commute times now, but it is possible. You can subscribe at thebriefly.com or at the bottom of your answer sheets as well. That is the end of round 2. There it goes. It's gone. Of course, if you are tuning in late and you want me to go back, that is totally cool. Once we hit the end of our questions, I will leave it open. I'll ask if anyone needs more the questions asked again. If they need them more asked again. If they need them asked one more time, that's fine. And I'll go back. Whatever questions you may have missed or that you need repeated, I will do so. Round number 3. Round number 3, the 3 about miscellany. Question number 7. When Friends debuted in 1994, it was a part of what NBC lineup? Was it A, Seinfeld Vision, B, TGIF, C, Must See TV, or D, SNCC? One of these is completely made up. Question number 7, one more time. Not completely made up, but question 7, one more time. When Friends debuted in 1994, it was a part of what NBC lineup? Was it A, Seinfeld Vision, B, TGIF, C, Must See TV, or D, SNCC? Let that one roll around a little bit. Take a little sip and move on to question number 8. While we're in between these questions, it's kind of the halfway point. It's not question 7 because we got 15 questions. It's not question 8 because there's 15. So 7.5 midway right now as we jump on to the next question. Question number 8. The first episode of Friends was directed by James Burrows, who directed every single episode of what sitcom, who all 4 main actors were nominated for Emmy Awards for their respective categories in the same years? Was it 2000? The same years. The years were 2000, 2001, and 2003. So the question is, what sitcom that was directed by James Burrows, whose actors basically swept these categories? They didn't necessarily win, but everyone was nominated. Was it A, Seinfeld, B, Will and Grace, C, Caroline in the City, or D, Cheers? I'm going to read that question again because I butchered it. Also because I read every question again. Question number 8, one more time. The first episode of Friends was directed by James Burrows, who directed every episode of what sitcom, who all 4 main actors were nominated for Emmy Awards for their respective categories in the same years of 2000, 2001, and 2003. We got through it together there. Was it A, Seinfeld, B, Will and Grace, C, Caroline in the City, or D, Cheers? One day someone's going to track down all the episodes of Caroline in the City, and they're going to confront me asking, why is this a possible answer on all of your quizzes? How does that make sense? Maybe it makes sense because all 4 main characters were nominated for Emmy Awards in the same year. Anyway, let's move on to question number 9. Question number 9, in the last season of Friends, the 6 members of the cast were making $1 million each per episode. It remains the only ensemble show that went off the air. It remained the only ensemble show that was the case until this show, which went off the air in 2008, where all actors were also paid $1 million per episode. That was butchered. Let's do that one more time, even before. The 6 members of the cast of Friends at the end, because they were negotiating as a group rather than individually, each one was making $1 million per episode. It was the only ensemble show that the cast was making $1 million per episode until what show, which happened to go off the air in 2008? Was it A, The Big Bang Theory, B, How I Met Your Mother, C, Entourage, or D, Community? What ensemble show's actors were paid $1 million per episode each? Friends was the first one to do it. These were the second ones to do it. Once again, question number 9. In the last season of Friends, all 6 members of the cast were making $1 million each per episode. It remains that way. It's the only show that each actor was making $1 million. Whew. Until what show, which happened to go off the air in 2018, that all of the actors on that show are paid $1 million an episode as well. It's a wordy question. I have only myself to blame. Was it A, Big Bang Theory, B, How I Met Your Mother, C, Entourage, or D, Community? That was question number 9, which means round 3, the 3 about miscellany, has come to an end. I do want to tell you, though, other fantastic streams coming from littlefieldnyc.com. Thursday, June 18th at 7 o'clock, Memories with Lisa Traeger. Lisa Traeger invites a group of her friends to talk about a wild story they all experienced together. A group of funny people, definitely worth your time. And If you are tired of Tinder, just sitting at home swiping, Littlefield, Melanie in the chat, I said the show ended in 2018. I may have said 2008 accidentally. However, for the record, the show, I'll go back. This show went off the show went off the air in 2018. All right, so Thursday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. is virtual speed dating with Littlefield and Filter Off. We're teaming up for a night of virtual speed dating. Meet people, not profiles. Like I said, if you're tired of swiping, here is also an option for you. That is the end of round 3. It is in the past. Ahead of us is round 4. Ahead of all of us together is round 4. We will fight through round 4 together. The 3 not about New York. Question number 10. In season 3, episode 25, the gang goes to this location, which is also known as the end. Is it A, Oahu, B, the Florida Keys, C, Anchorage, Alaska, or D, Montauk, New York? Everyone loves a good geography question. Question number 10. In season 3, episode 25, the gang goes to this location, which is also known as the end. Is the end A, Oahu, B, the Florida Keys, C, Anchorage, Alaska, or D, Montauk, New York? Where is the end? Well, tonight, the end will be after question 15, but that's not what this is about. All right, that was question number 10. Question number 11. In season 5, episodes 23 and 24, I mean, you don't have to know that, but that is the answer. Where in season 5, episode 23 and 24, spoilers, where Ross and Rachel get married, the gang was in this city, which was known as the Atomic City in the 1950s. Is the Atomic City A, Atomic City, Ohio, or Idaho? Ohio, can't read. Is it A, Atomic City, Idaho, B, Las Vegas, Nevada, C, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, or D, Bikini Atoll? Which is the Atomic City? Got that nickname in the 1950s. In season 5, episodes 23 and 24, this is question 11 one more time. Ross and Rachel, spoilers, get married. The gang was in this city when it happened, known as the Atomic City in the 1950s. Is the Atomic City A, Atomic City, Idaho, B, Las Vegas, Nevada, C, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, or D, Bikini Atoll? That is question number 11, as the music happens to, that tune happens to end right at the question end mark, which, it's normally, it's there to fill that space that I normally provide to let you answer questions, so it's not just weird silence. Sometimes it lines up that way. That was 11. Question number 12. Question 12. Okay, I lied. This one is about New York. Every single season of Friends had an episode that featured this holiday, which features a parade down Broadway, or at least it did until the year 2014. Was that holiday A, St. Patrick's Day, B, Columbus Day, C, Thanksgiving Day, or D, Leap Day? Once again, question 12. Okay, I lied. This question is about New York City. Every single season of Friends had an episode that featured this holiday, which features a parade down Broadway, at least it did until the year 2014. Is that holiday that features a parade that used to go down Broadway A, St. Patrick's Day, B, Columbus Day, C, Thanksgiving Day, or D, Leap Day? Which holiday? is in every season of Friends? All right, that's question 12. That means round 4. Mini round 4. It is over. It is the past. Let us move on to round 5. But before we do, I do want to tell you about Pop, a pop culture bingo party on Sunday, June 21st at 7 p.m. A pop culture bingo party comes to you live from the Party Palace for a night of virtual bingo, pop culture mini games, and lots of chances to be a winner. The game is on Zoom, the card is on your phone, and the bartender is you. No complaints about not having a heavy pour in that case. Anyway, that is this Sunday night. And then Thursday, June 25th at 7 p.m., Punderdome, New York City, and America's comedy pun competition, a cult favorite pun competition, will be live at littlefieldnyc.com. You can check out more information at littlefieldnyc.com for both of these. Pop Culture Bingo is one of my favorite events that's regularly at Littlefield. I am pumped to have it back virtually this weekend on Sunday night. And of course, the Thursday following, June 25th, Punderdome is back. The cult favorite pun competition. All right, question round 5, the 3 after the show. We are looking after Friends has ended, the careers of the folks and things from Friends. Question 13, the only Friends spinoff, Joey, was short-lived. After the show was canceled, what happened to the show's sets? Were they A, lost in a fire? B, were they sent to the Smithsonian? C, were they purchased by an EMS company for training purposes? Or D, were they repurposed and then became the set of 30 Rock? What happened to the sets of the show Joey? Question 13, one more time. The only Friends spinoff, Joey, was short-lived. After the show was canceled, what happened to the sets? Were they A, lost in a fire? B, were they sent off to the Smithsonian? C, were they purchased by an EMS company as a setting for training? Or D, were they repurposed and became the sets for 30 Rock? This is probably the most specific question of the night. Be interested to know if someone really does know this. That was question 13. Here we go. Question 14. In The People vs. O.J. Simpson American Crime Story, David Schwimmer plays Robert Kardashian, the father of Rob Kardashian, who is, among other things, a designer of what? Is it socks? Is it vape flavors? Is it designer zip ties? Or is it D, decorative shoes? Decorative shoes, of course, are shoes you don't wear, but are only merely decoration. Question 14, one more time. In The People vs. O.J. Simpson American Crime Story, David Schwimmer plays Robert Kardashian, the father of Rob Kardashian, who is, amongst other things, a designer of what? Is it A, he designs socks? Is it B, he designs vape flavors? Is it C, he designs designer zip ties? Or D, he designs decorative shoes? What does Rob Kardashian do? I hate to say, I don't want to say for a living, because it's not exactly for his living he does this, but he does this. Designs what? That was 14. Question 15, the last question of the night. If you need a question again, just let me know. That's what I'm here for. Question 15 is not in my teleprompter, but I have this so I could tell you about it. Alec Baldwin and Lisa Kudrow are in 2 episodes of the show Friends together. On what movie, what DreamWorks movie, did they reunite? Is it A, Kung Fu Panda, B, B-Movie, C, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, or D, Boss Baby? A reuniting of sorts for Alec Baldwin and Lisa Kudrow, who I believe were romantically entangled for 2 episodes of Friends. Got to get into the fiddly details. So question 15 one more time. Alec Baldwin and Lisa Kudrow were featured in Friends in 2 episodes together. The 2 reunited on what DreamWorks animated picture? Was it A, Kung Fu Panda, B, B-Movie, C, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole, or D, Boss Baby? All right, so now is the time that I let everyone know that you can ask for questions again. It is time to finalize, as the screen says, finalize your answers. Let me know in one of the chat rooms that you may be in if you need one of the answers again. In the meanwhile, I will be tallying scores as they come in. Here we go. Scores coming in. I will be tallying in just a moment. I'll begin my tallying momentarily. Let everyone have enough time got some pretty good. All right, I already see some solid scores going on, but we'll see. In the meanwhile, I don't think anyone is waiting on questions again. I don't see it in the chat. No one's letting me know, but I will say it is time. My favorite, a short reading while we await answers to be submitted from the book of Mega Man 2 by FX9. So, Mega Man, I thank you, said Dr. Light. My family thanks you. The universe thanks you. You are the greatest superhero of them all. Mega Man had turned Dr. Wily over to Dr. Light for justice. The evil genius was still begging for mercy, but Mega Man knew that Dr. Light was planning to put him into prison for the next 1 billion years. Mega Man, you did an excellent job, said Dr. Light, but you look tired. If you were still a robot, all right, in this Mega Man's not a robot anymore. If you were still a robot, you'd never be tired. Would you like me to try to make you back into a robot? No way, Dr. Light, said Mega Man. I like being a human being. When I was a robot, I never had any feelings. While I was fighting my way through Dr. Wily's robots, I had lots of feelings. I was worried sometimes. I was lonely sometimes. Sometimes I was even a little sad. Dr. Light nodded. But why does that make you like being human? Those aren't the greatest feelings in the world, you know. I know, said Mega Man. But now I have some other feelings, and they are the greatest feelings in the world. I feel happy and proud and cared for. It's great to have feelings. He paused for a moment. That's where I'm going to pause as well and check on your answers for tonight's questions. I'm sure you're all enjoying my reading from this book. However, I'm sure you're all champing at the bit better to know how you have scored. Doing well. I see some great names. I see one. All right. I see one team that's doing well. I'll give you just another moment. But since I'm not a robot anymore, there's something else that I feel too, he went on. You were right. I am just a little tired. I think I need a short vacation. Dr. Light laughed. Of course, Mega Man, of course, he said. Now that you've taken care of Dr. Wily, the universe should be safe for quite a while. Have a good time. Mega Man started walking, thinking about his home as he walked. He thought of his little village in the mountains. He thought about how beautiful it looked in the winter when the snow fell all around. Anyway, you get the idea. We are going to finish our intermission. It looks like, I have a sneeze coming on. It looks like we have the last of our questions answered. I'm going to leave this Mega Man book. He takes a vacation, has a great time. He's a real boy. And that is the end of that. All right, I'm going to closing off the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the issue with that is that there's a delay on YouTube. So when I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it really means 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a few seconds. So it'll just be a few more moments while I let anyone over on YouTube who is desperate to get their answers in really quick, they could get their answers in. If you are playing with us after the fact, your answers won't count, but I do appreciate you trying to put them in. All right, that is it. We are closed. Let's go over the answers. What song was ripped off by the Friends theme song? Was it Blind Melon, REM, The Cure, or did they rip off Lenny Kravitz? If you really listen to the Friends theme song, it is a ripoff of The End. It's The End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. It's not a direct ripoff, but if you think of the chorus, you kind of get close. I'll be there for you, it's the end of the world, all that. Anyway, that is the answer. REM was ripped off by the Pretenders, and they, Pretenders, Proclaimers, Pretenders. Proclaimers, now I've lost the thread rather. It's fine. The answer is, it's the end of the world, we know it, and I feel fine. Rembrandts. I don't remember who it was. The Rembrandts? I should have remembered better. Anyway, who did Jane Krakowski, Elizabeth Berkley, Courtney Cox, and Taya Leone all audition for? So, every single one of those actresses auditioned for this part, but didn't get it because the part is Rachel. They all auditioned for Rachel. Question 3, what show did Phoebe's sister Ursula first appear on? And the answer to that is Mad About You. The only way I knew about Mad About You's revival was the Subway ads, but I never saw it. Not Caroline in the City. Question number 4, this future Avenger starts as a blind date, ends up as a husband. If you never saw this show, the clue would be who doesn't ever seem to age, because the ageless man is Paul Rudd. Also, I'd be interested to know who's never ever seen an episode of Friends. It also means you've never been in a gym because it's just playing nonstop. Question number 5, George Clooney and Nola Wiley's guest star roles were a near crossover with what show? That show was ER, but of course they had different names on Friends. Question number 6, what future Duchess appeared on the show as herself? I would say the answer is Fergie, but that leaves 2 Fergies. Fergie Duhamel is the Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas who wet herself on stage once. So the answer is Sarah Ferguson, Duchess Fergie. Question number 7, when Friends debuted in 1994, it was a part of what NBC lineup? Seinfeld Night, which I believe is not correct. Seinfeld, I believe it's Seinfeld. That was the second version of this. The first, or the final version, was Seinfeld Vision, which was a 30 Rock joke. TGIF was an ABC lineup. SNCC was Nickelodeon Saturday Night for tweens. So the answer is Must-See TV. Question number 8. The first episode of Friends was directed by James Burrows, who directed every episode of what sitcom, whose 4 main actors swept the Emmys in their categories for nominations in the years 2000, 2001, 2003. It was not Caroline in the City. It was Will and Grace for Best Actor in a Comedy, Best Actress in a Comedy, Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy, Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. Question 9, what other show's cast was paid $1 million per episode? The answer is The Big Bang Theory. What my mother said reminds me of me when she watches it, and that is offensive to me. Question number 10 in season 3, episode 25, the gang goes to this location, which is also known as the End. The End is, of course, Montauk, the end of Long Island. Question number 11 in season 5, episodes 23 and 24, Ross and Rachel, spoilers, get married. The gang was in which city known as the Atomic City in the 50s? This was, of course, in the 50s, Las Vegas, Nevada, the Atomic City. Question number 12 was, okay, I lied. This one was about New York. It was, what holiday has a parade that used to go down Broadway until 2014? That holiday would be Thanksgiving Day. The parade went down Broadway until 2014 when pedestrian plazas were introduced to Broadway and the route was changed. Question number 13. The Only Friends spinoff Joey was short-lived. After the show was canceled, what happened to the show's sets? They were not lost in a fire. They are definitely not in the Smithsonian. And 30 Rock sets are not repurposed from that. So they were purchased by an EMS company for training exercises. Question number 14. That was a weird one, I'll admit. In The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, David Schwimmer plays Robert Kardashian, the father of Rob Kardashian, who is a designer of socks. Everyone's got to have a job, and I guess someone's got to design socks. Question number 15, where did Alec Baldwin and Lisa Kudrow reunite after their 2-episode fling on Friends? They were not in Kung Fu Panda, they were not in B-Movie, they were not in Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. They were, of course, in Boss Baby. Everyone's favorite movie, right? So, let us take a look at the winners. Boss Baby is not awful, I will say. All right. So, we have, of course, best team in terms of scores. And then we also have, as I attempt to sort these, sort column C. This is obviously things you need to know. There we go. Perfect. All right. So here we go with 9 points. 9 points. Give it up for. Normally, I would be telling you all to clap for the teams because everyone did a great job. You know what? You can clap for the teams. That's cool. I don't mind if you clap. Maybe people you live with might minds, but that's fine. With 9 points, give it up for Suzanne. 9 points. Solid entry tonight. 9 points also, the one where Gabe fails at trivia. 9 points. With 10 points, we've got a tie. Team 1 with 10 points. The one where Chandler and Joey discover each other's bodies. It's 10 points. And also, in quotes, Hand Over Fist by Rob Blatt, 10 points. Weird. All right. With 12 points, R&R, 12 points. With 13 points, we've got a multi-way tie. We've got a 3-way tie with 13 points. With 13 points, one of our winners of Best Team Name, Ms. Chandler Bong, a Chenandler. Wow, that's Chenandler Bong, one of our best team names tonight, with 13 points. Jackie Older Sister with 13 points. Also a winner of team name Blursula with 13 points, which means we're getting close to our winners. We've got multiple teams still left. 14 points, crap bag, 14 points. 14 points also, how you doing? I'm winning 14 points. I hate to tell you, but you didn't win, but you came very close. Also with 14 points, the lotion and powder has made a paste. 14 points. And also with 14 points, Chandler is the best with 14 points. However, we do have a perfect game tonight. perfect game tonight, a perfect 15 points, goes to the Phalanges. 15 points, and tonight's winner for best score. Best score tonight, 15 points. Congratulations to the Phalanges. Also, congratulations to Blursula and Ms. Chandler Bong for winning best team names. There is, of course, one additional thing that we have to announce. Next week's movie, which is next week's theme, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And the other thing is that you will not be able to find pop culture trivia on Littlefield NYC next week. That is because, and I'm so excited to say this, New York City's reopening is on phase 2 as of Monday, and on Wednesday night, I will be at Parklife hosting trivia at 7 p.m. in person. Of course, there will be all variety of precautions and protections and rules about how it will go. However, if you are in New York City and you have the ability to get to Gowanus, I would love to see you there on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for trivia. Parklife will be open. Everyone will be socially distanced. Everything is already set up for it now. And we'll be doing trivia very similar to this. Everyone's answer sheets will be on their phones. I'll be reading into a microphone not as far away as you and I are now, but still far away. And I'd love to see you there, and we'd love to see you there for the first event in-person trivia at Parklife. The first time we'll be doing it this summer, and I'd love to see you there. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I want to thank everyone for playing. We will be working towards getting trivia both in person and online, but next week, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, where it's a movie that'll be shown after trivia at 8:30, depending. And I hope to see everyone there. LittlefieldNYC.com. There are plenty of great virtual events still happening. Of course, there's some stuff happening this weekend. And I will see you next week in person at Parklife at 7 o'clock. Parklife will open at 4 o'clock if you are looking for some food and margaritas in advance. But we'll see you there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.